On people, welcome along to another Fourever Arsenal. Big up to each and every one of you. Got to say welcome along to Curtis, to Lee, and also to look at it, little pretty lights behind him. Christmas is over, you know.
the budget went up.
Like a stick of candy back there, isn't it? You know, like you get on the tree, like. I mean, what's going on?
I like them, man. I got a little colourful mic now. You know, maybe you can hear me clearer now. So yeah, we're
very, very posh. Yeah,
very posh, very posh. Welcome along, guys. Listen, I'm trying to decide how we're doing this show right on Sunday night, so I'm trying to decide how I feel because Saturday, euphoria, felt great. Arsenal, another win, emphatic win, 3-0 at home. Gyökeres, couple of goals for him. Really good performance. Now over to you, Man City. Pressurized game away at Anfield. They haven't won there for years. I think 20 odd years. They haven't won there. Pressure all on them. The game comes about, and don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but not if you're an Arsenal fan. It's a great game if you're a Man United or Chelsea fan going for that top 4 place.
What are you on about?
What?
What are you on about? It's not a great, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm not bothered by it.
It was a great game.
Keep worrying about Man City, Robbie. Like, I mean,
I'm not worrying about Man City, but it would have been 9 points lead. Come on, you know that.
Yeah, it would have been 9 points.
It would have been a 9-point lead. Even at one time, it was looking like after Szoboszlai scored that goal, it was a 9-point lead. Then they got the equaliser. You're like, all right, cool. 8 points. Take that. 8 points is good. And then sickener at the end. What is Alisson doing? And then my mood is not defeatist. It's not damp. It's not terrible. But it's a little bit of a, what could have been. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I'll tell you how I actually stood there and clapped.
You're lying.
That is a world-class save from their goalkeeper at the end of the day. It's unbelievable. Like,
you clapped that.
It was a great. I thought it was a fantastic save. You have to give them credit. I give Manchester City all the credit in the world today. Like, you know what I mean? Because they've gone there under pressure, right? Should have been miles in front at the end of the day. They've been smashed by a worldly goal, right? And they responded. And that is what a team that's challenging the title do. You know what I mean? They're not going to give you this title, guys. Can I just say to this? Like, they are not going to give it to us. We have to earn it. We have to win games. And at the end of the day, they can play like that every single time. If we win 10, 11 games, they can't do nothing about it. All they can do is win their games and hope. When we win our games, we just chalk off another one. That's all we got to do. And like, come against Brentford, send a message back to them. That is what you do, because it's going to be 3 points, possibly 3 points. You never know in football. I never know. You know, Fulham could go there and beat them, like, you know, who knows? The likelihood it's going to be 3 points. You know, it's like when they put the forehand smash down to him, Andre Agassi, return it back like at his feet, see what happens, like, you know what I mean? And that's all we got to do. I'm still buzzing of our performance on Saturday. That's more important to me.
PTSD from a lot of fans who've seen, you know what I mean, City launch a big run. We thought they would have been dead and buried today, Lee. After that, Bernardo Silva said at the end of the game, right? He said that he felt that if it went to 9 points, the league was over. So that's why, I don't know about you, and I think the other two, looking at them two, they feel a bit like how I feel. That it's not that I don't think we can do this. It could have been so much sweeter today and looking so much rosier had Liverpool held on. I don't know what you think, Curtis.
Do you remember when Deontay Wilder caught Fury with that big left and dropped him? He was going back to his corner going, it's over, it's over. Fury got up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I thought the fight was over today, people. I'll be honest. And you know, Rob, it's worse when you do the watch-along. You suffer every minute of the game. And I said some shameless things on that watch-along. You know what I mean? I'll be real. When You'll Never Walk Alone was playing, I said the odd word. You know what I'm saying? And now, listen, overall, the focus has got to be like Lee just said, we got a big win ourselves. We were concerned about that Sunderland game. We demolished them in the end. Very positive performance. We've got to focus on what we're doing at the end of the day. And like you said, when is Pep Guardiola just going to surrender a league title? But what it has done has showed us that we're not going to run off into the sunset with this title.
100%.
A lot of us, and listen, it's hard not to. Like when Szoboszlai puts that top corner, I'm going 9 points. They're done. Pep's spitting all over the pitch. I'm thinking we're there. You know what I mean? And then next minute, the carnage goes on. I agree with Lee. I think City showed us what, you know, a team that has won a league title 4 times in a row looks like. Because that's an unbelievable result. To, you know, 1-0 down with 15 minutes to go, you're thinking they're done and they've turned it around. And like you said, we're going to be under pressure because I expect them to beat Fulham on Wednesday, which means come kick-off time at Brentford on Thursday, we will only be 3 points clear. So I think we have to embrace the challenge. I still think no matter what happened today, that is not a great Manchester City team. It's just not.
Exactly that.
It really isn't. Like, if Liverpool had their act about them, they'd have beat them or at least got a point. Ekitike missed a sitter, you know, the Salah foul, like you said, Lee, we'll talk about that as well. So I think we've got to be optimistic. But, yeah, there's no doubt it was a painful one. Feel like I won the lottery and then checked the date on it. It was the wrong day. So, yeah, back to work.
Oh yeah, I felt similar, to be honest. It was like one of them awful like hate watches. Just I was so when that was like free kick, I was watching it, I was with my friend and we were saying like, oh, the commentator was talking about it like it was gonna be some big moment, and I was like, oh, it's going in. I can feel this one. It went in. Oh, the way you hear it, like I celebrated as if Arsenal just scored. I can't lie to you guys. I don't know if I was singing "You Never Walk Alone," Curtis, but I definitely
allegedly
applauded the free kick. I definitely applauded that, but yeah, it just felt like a sucker punch. It was really like probably the first time this season it's felt like watching an Arsenal game, even though it wasn't an Arsenal game. In the fact that I was that invested in it, I was supporting Liverpool. Like I was telling, why is he doing this? Why is he doing? I'm thinking, I don't even support these guys. I don't know. I'm so invested, but yeah, I think Lee said it well though. Hey, we didn't expect City to drop this amount of points, so we're fortunate they have already. They're going to keep winning games as long as we win our games. We're okay, but yeah, it's that PTSD. I think that's what worries me. Is that 3-point gap. It only takes one slip up. We've still got to go to the Etihad. Tottenham's going to be a tough game, even though it's Tottenham. You know, they're going to turn up, especially if they can stop us winning the league. And then, yeah, still got to play Chelsea as well. And I was looking at City's fixtures earlier. They've not got to play Aston Villa until the last game of the season. So that might work out in their favour. And if they played them next week, we might be looking at as like, they could drop points again there and give us a bit of momentum. But we might be waiting for that and towards the end of the season. Apart from that, their games are looking all right. If I'm honest with you, I don't know if you guys have checked them. I know we haven't got horrid games left, but they're looking in a good run as well. So
Jack,
yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one to take, but I'm not that angry about it. I expected it. So
are we going to be nervous against Brentford? Yes, we are. Of course we are.
Yeah.
So they're going to be nervous against Fulham. You know what I mean? Like they can't afford to drop points. Not one. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to embrace this. I tell you, like, you know what I mean? I really do think we you know, at the end of the day, listen, when they scored that goal, I didn't go mad over it. I actually thought City would equalise. I did. When they equalised, I said, I was watching it with Regan. I said to him, yeah, I told you they'd equalise. I didn't think that they was going to get the winner. But then, you know what I mean, like stupidity come into it, didn't he? I mean, don't ever tell me like you have all these Liverpool fans. Yeah, Alisson number one. No, he's not number one no more. No way is he the number one goalkeeper in this country no more. He was, but he ain't no more because he continues to make mistakes. And that was.
Who do you reckon, Donnarumma or Raya? I think Donnarumma's slightly ahead of him.
It's Donnarumma and Raya. They're the
Raya.
two.
It's Raya. What do you mean? It's Raya.
Yeah, I don't know.
Donnarumma.
Raya's won the Golden Glove. Raya's won the Golden Glove 2 seasons in a row. Raya has got the most clean sheets this season, and Raya makes less mistakes than Donnarumma. Donnaruma's made a few mistakes this season.
Yeah.
Rob, come on.
Donnarumma, listen. In what he's done, in his when I look at the best 3 goalkeepers in the league, I always say Alisson, Donnarumma, Raya, right? For what they've done historically, because Raya hasn't done what they've done historically. But right now, this season, in the league, It's rare. He's been the best goalkeeper in the league over the past few seasons. It's just that I look at these guys historically and I say, you can't argue with what Alisson's done it, but what he did today, that was shocking. I mean, that's what a goalkeeper, I'd expect maybe if Setford did that for Arsenal as a novice keeper, I'd be like, well, he's a kid. And I couldn't believe what he did. But listen, just going back to that game, there's only one bit of solace I take from that game. There's only one bit of satisfaction that I take from that game today. And that's that probably Liverpool have messed up their chances of getting into the top 4 or 5 and either be playing Europa League or not even be playing in Europe after spending £500 million, right? Serve them right for putting in that shocking performance and losing that game. If that had been us, everybody would have been talking about bottle jobs. They'd be seeing memes of bottles and all that. They bottled it today. They should have won that game. In the second half, the amount of chances they had. And I don't know about you guys, right? What I noticed about that game, nobody plays us like that, do they? We never have them open games, do we? Look how open that game was right from the start. We never seem to get nobody. I think that's the respect that a lot of people have got for Arsenal because our games are never open like that, are they?
No.
That game was like, it was a mad game. In the first half, I thought that City should have been a couple of goals up. Haaland missed the easy chance. They had a couple of chances. And in the second half, you know, Liverpool should have been a couple of goals up. And it was just such an open game. And I'm just like, you don't see those games when, you know, when City played us, they weren't open like that. When Liverpool played us, they weren't open. Nobody plays us like that. So you are right, Lee. This is, I think, what may be a good thing about this game, a bit like when we lost to Man United, is like a wake-up call. It's not going to be handed to us, people. Manchester City are not going to hand it to us on a plate. We have to go out and win it. The advantage is firmly, if you ask them who wants to swap places, they swap places with us tomorrow. We're 6 points clear. We know what we have to do. We just got to keep winning. We just got to keep winning and winning and winning. And if we do that, we'll win the league. We're in a great position. We're in a great position. And listen, we didn't expect them to throw away a 2-goal lead to Tottenham, right? It could have been a lot worse because if they'd have done the business in that game, it would have been 3 points, right? So we've got, or 4 points. So we're still in a great position. But what we got to do, I think, Lee, you said it when we was doing the fan cams yesterday, and, you know, I was guilty of it as well. We're all getting a little bit carried away because we're thinking they're probably not going to win at Liverpool. I was thinking to myself they could draw, but I don't think they're going to win, but they've won. What you said, Lee, is so true. Let's now just focus on us. Let's forget about City. I want us to block out City. Let's focus on us because if we do our business, you know, and I'll tell you what, the game coming up against Brentford is a vitally important game and how the pendulum might be able to swing after that. Because if we win that game and they win, I'll assume that they'll win their game. It'll be still 6 points. Then we then have a chance to get a little bit of an advantage over them because then we've got Wolves midweek. We've got Tottenham and then they'll have their game. And then we'll have Wolves, won't we? Midweek before they even play again. And that could give us a chance if we keep winning to then again put 9 points on pressure, etc. So we're in a great position. It was just a bit gutting because, you know, listen, we want it easy. It's only natural to want it easy. I want an easy pathway. I want to just, after all these years of hurt, we want to be just like coasting. But I think today showed us that we've got to keep fighting right till the end.
The other thing is, boys, you have to look at this. Say if it was no points, right, and we was only 3 points in front today, like, and they do that, and it pulls it back level. Then it's then it's hard to say. We've still got 6 points on them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I know what Bernardo Silva said. He turns around. Bernardo Silva says, "Oh, well, it would have been over and done." And Brett. He also said in that interview that they're still in a very, very strong position, like, you know. And I think that's how we've got to look at it. They've got to go through and make no mistakes. No mistake. And also the other thing is we've still got to go and play them. So then I worry about Man City. I concentrate on Man City when we play them. But at the end of the day, we can't control what Alisson does. We can't control what Fulham do and Smith Rowe. But I tell you what, we can control how we play against Brentford and how we played against Sunderland and how we played against Leeds. You know, and you're dead right what you're saying, Rob. Like this next two games is pivotal for us because they're at home against Fulham. They make it to 3. If we can get it back, we make it to 6. Then we make it 9 ourselves. Again, it's up to us, isn't it? We can make it 9 at Wolves. Nothing what Man City can do. Nothing what anybody else can do. It's what we can do. We can make it go 9 points. Not Liverpool today could have made it 9 points. We can, and we will stay there for at least a couple of weeks because their game, whoever they're playing, has not been put on the fixture list yet. Like so, that is like a real sense of thing. Then to go to Tottenham and really, you know, push it home. I watched Man City today, you know, and I thought that I admire the way that they got back into it, but I see vulnerability. I see a team that, you know, isn't great. I also see a team with a very, 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 very healthy squad as well. Like, you know, this is a team that look at their bench; it's quite strong, and so they're in it for in January, right? They were 5 points behind us or 4 points behind. What did they do? They didn't give up like we did last year. They went and bought and made sure that they're going to be in this sort of race. Like, you know, we didn't do that last year. We said, "Hey, Liverpool, you have it." Right? And I'll tell you what, Roy Keane come up with a fantastic point today. Bang it home to Liverpool fans. You weren't as good as what you thought you were. This is what you're getting now. You know what I mean? Like Liverpool got a lot of rebuilding to do. And I'll tell you this now, I put money on it. He won't be the manager come the end of the beginning of the next season. I'll tell you that now, right? They'll change, right? And at the end of the day, and they will probably have to go into Europa League next season because they're playing up against Chelsea and Manchester United that have got form. Liverpool went into that game really with not a great lot of form, boys. You know what I mean? They capitulated at Bournemouth a couple of weeks ago. So I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Everybody going, oh, they're going winning all that. I've been disappointed if we went there now and didn't win. We was unfortunate we went there at the beginning of the season when it was their first or second home game of the season, like, you know, and they was on a bit of a high, you know. And like Jack says there, like, Aston Villa, I'll take on Aston Villa tomorrow the way they're playing at the moment. Like, you know what I mean? They might sort themselves out by the end of the season. Like the games that I worry about are teams like Fulham, Sunderland, that a point is good for them guys. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, there's not so much pressure on them. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get so that they can go there and be a little bit more relaxed. I wouldn't be surprised if City drop points against Fulham. I'm not saying they're going to. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why our job was so fantastic yesterday. You know what I mean? There was a lot of pressure on that game. Got it done. And I'd rather talk about Arsenal than Man City because I just having a little, it says Forever Arsenal up there. It doesn't say Forever City, right? Let's get that right, right? It's about what we do. And we've got to remember that. Great result yesterday. 3-0. Who would have thought that? Who would have said 3-0? Who would have said that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey? Someone with confidence must have said that. Hey, Jackie
you know
boy.
What?
Hey, Jackie boy.
I want to say, by the way, right, Lee was going to go 2-0. And when Jack went 2-0, he thought, I better go somewhere else. And look, it fell into his lap. Am I ever going to get off the bottom of the league?
And it should have been 4-0, right? But you remember at the end, Martinelli had that little chance.
Yeah.
Straight to keep. If that had been 4, oh, my days.
You had 4, didn't you?
Yeah, I had 4.
Yeah, Robbie had 4. Hey, I'm
Listen,
still top though, so karma.
Yeah, I know. You're still top. You're still top. I think, yeah, with the City thing, yeah. And like you said, that weekend we play Tottenham. I'm looking, they've got Newcastle. But listen, we've got 3 away games in a row in the league now. I know we've got the FA Cup game, but yeah, we're gonna different games as well. Wolves, Tottenham, Brentford. So we got to go on the road, grind out them results, and see where we're at. Then I think I know I don't want to go over old stuff, but you look at today, and I don't know about anybody else. I thought Gahey was their best player today. You know, you look at the block, and you look at, and you just wonder, don't you, whether we should have gone into the market. Now, I don't know whether the money was there. Maybe it wasn't. They reckon we might have tried to get Goretzka on loan. But you just think sometimes, how many years have you seen Ferguson top of the league and go and buy someone to just
in the market for who though? In the market for who though, Curtis?
Well, but that's Berta's job, isn't it? He's probably
you're saying it in the market for who? Who did you think? What did you think we needed?
But well, we could have done with a midfielder. We've said all season the Declan Rice cover's short, and now Marino's injured. So if Rice got injured now, we'd be in a mini crisis, I would say. And you just listen. Sometimes
you're in the market for who to replace Declan Rice. Who's coming close to him?
What
available right now?
Yeah, but I don't know who is available. I don't know who you can wriggle out of a club.
Because I think what you're saying. I think what you're saying is a little. It's a little bit easy to say because they needed Gay. So. They needed to get somebody like Gay, right? Because they all their centre backs were out. So
all right, let me ask you a question.
Huh?
Let me ask you a question. If Declan Rice, touch wood, obviously, if Declan Rice got injured now for a sustained period of time, you're playing who? Norgard, probably, aren't you? Norgard and Zuber Mendy.
But then Arsenal tried to sign Tonali.
Oh, come on, Rob. Come on. They didn't try and sign Tonali, man. Come on.
Listen.
That was PR, man. The agent probably offered him.
Let me tell you something. That's not PR.
The agent,
A player as big as Tonali, right? A player as big as, listen, not that they knew or thought they'd be able to sign him, but a player as big as Tonali, those rumours you've been doing your transfer thing, those rumours don't come about if there weren't words exchanged and somebody saying, yeah, you know what, I reckon, if he'd come to Arsenal. But right now, I can't think of anybody else out there who could replace Declan Rice. You could get a Goretzka, and they actually did try to get Goretzka as well. But even Goretzka, he's barely played for Bayern this. You know what I mean? We've got a good squad. Whereas in the case of Man City, they're missing Stones. They've been missing Ruben Diaz. They desperately needed a centre-back.
Did you say Raheem?
I went and got it. I didn't know, Rob.
Yeah, but they had to. They had to. They had no centre backs. I don't understand
that, but they didn't need to go and get a wide player, and they did.
No, Lee, your point there. You know what you said about last year. I'm 100%. I was fuming last year when Arsenal didn't go and buy anybody because we were desperate. We had Saka out, we had Havertz out, we had Jesus out. We were desperate to go and get players, and we didn't do it. And that was basically waving the white flag on the league last season. But this season, it's a little different. I feel that even if you look on it, and Arsenal will look on it and say, right, unless we can get someone who directly can replace Declan Rice, then we've got players that can. We're going to have to come up with a solution because we've got a lot of midfield players. I really don't think we desperately needed to go and sign anybody.
Yeah, I agree with you with the like we weren't last January we were desperate, right? We needed a striker desperately. But I don't think City were desperate for Semenyo when you've got Cherki, Foden, Doku, Savinho.
Exactly.
They add if Semenyo is
Doku's not everybody go and speak to a City fan, they'll tell you Doku got no end product. Doku scored like 8 goals in about
exactly.
Sorry?
Similar to Noni, really, isn't he? To be honest.
Don't speak.
Yeah, but you got Saka there as well. Noni's the backup, right? You know what I mean? I'm saying like that. Basically, Doku. I think he scored something like 8 goals since he's been there. So they know he's not going to give him the goals.
They've upgraded.
Yeah, fair enough. But I'm saying it's a bit unfair to say that Arsenal should have went out and bought. Because they've got a good squad. That's not going to be an excuse for if we don't win this league.
No, listen, I'm not saying it's an excuse because we did our work in the summer, so there's no desperation there. But I think if you looked at Arsenal's team, we've spoke on here multiple times and said our front line is not really firing at the moment. If Arsenal had gone out and got a really good left winger, to be honest, there's an argument you could say Semenyo would start left wing for Arsenal. To be honest, and they reckon he was interested in Arsenal. But listen, it's neither here nor there. But I just think sometimes you can buy from a position of strength and say, let's nail this down rather than leaving it to chance. But
if someone obvious was there, I don't know. I think if someone obvious was there, but I just feel that that's not going to be an excuse if we don't win the league. We've got a great side, right? A side good enough to win this league. It's about execution now. It really is about execution. Going out there and executing and winning this league. That's what it's about.
Hey, listen, no one's doing it better than that. My mate Gyökeres. When
And by the way, just before you say that, Lee, right?
I've just said it.
You know, no, just before you say what you said about Gyökeres, we're gonna get onto Gyökeres, right? But you know, as great as Gay was, should he have been sent off?
We ain't talking about Man City again, please.
No, hold on.
Forever City.
No, because you said
Forever City.
You said he was their best player, but
He's
should he
got
have
Man
been sent
City
off?
tatted on his jacksie or something, and then what's going on here?
Should he have been sent off?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going, yeah.
You know, because as great as you said he was, right? If that had been Saliba today and he pulled back Salah and he got sent off, we'd all be cussing him. He should have gone. He denied him a goal scoring opportunity. I don't know how that wasn't a sending off. So, you know,
Saliba got sent off from the halfway line, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me from the halfway line if it's not how can that be? Not that is from the halfway line. How can that be a clear and obvious chance?
Yeah, because a lot of people confuse
18-yard box. It can't be when you're going to get a shot off.
A lot of people confuse this thing about they had a player back, but it's a goal scoring opportunity. Salah, he's cutting him from the angle. We know how many times he scores like that. That is a goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah.
So
there's a player sent off for doing the same thing. Szoboszlai literally got red carded, and they pulled it back because he pulled Haaland. So they pulled it back and said, "Oh, the pull was a foul," and he got a straight red. Obviously, there was no keeper in goal, but Salah was through. So I don't know how they've come to that decision in the same game over two very similar instances of someone getting their shirt pulled back, especially when they sort of cancelled out the goal. That was a weird one because Liverpool players are on the pitch asking it to not happen, and City fans are joining them saying, "Yeah, let's just keep the goal." They didn't want to lose Szoboszlai for 3 games.
No, that was ridiculous. Just give the goal.
I'm telling you, people like that Gary Neville, right, starting to get on my nerves. I've only listened.
He was shocking today.
Shocking. Talking about what are you talking about? Listen, you've got teams going for the Champions League, teams going for Europa League, right? Yeah. The letter of the law says that Szoboszlai should be sent off. Don't let him off because it's the last minute and it's a goal. Rules are rules. He done the first foul. It's a sending off. So he has to go. And what that does now means that they go, Liverpool, to Sunderland with a man down. And that is the fair decision for the likes of Chelsea, the likes of
United,
Aston Villa and Manchester United. That's the right thing. What's he on about? I thought he was going to come out singing like Haaland at one stage when he went on that. You know what I mean?
That guy, you know what? The one thing I've realised about Neville goes on the overlap. He goes on the overlap every year and goes, "Oh, Arsenal are going to win it," right? Because I think he wants the Arsenal fans to like him because we hate him from Reyes and all that stuff, what he did when he played. But today, I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? I thought he had a Man City kit on. You know, every time they go, "Oh, they're going to score this," and I thought, this guy, man. But yeah, was it? Do you think that was a red? I don't know. I'm just watching it back now. To be honest,
I think it is. I think it is right because
he's not going to get a shot off.
Red cards. Red cards in those positions is if you deny a player a goal scoring opportunity, he's through on goal and he's coming in from the angle. The other centre backs in the middle of the goal, in the middle of the box, so you could easily have got a shot off. So you've denied a goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah. And also, Rob,
what can we say?
No intentions, right? No intentions of playing the ball. Do you know, one player's been sent off for that in all the whole time that's happened. Funny enough, Granit Xhaka, you know what I mean? Yeah. No intentions of playing the ball, but we get a player sent off for it, you know. Saliba taken out for 50 yards. 50 yards! And that's a goal scoring opportunity from 50 yards. But 18 yards, no, that is not. It's ridiculous. Stonewall sending off. End of.
Yeah. I thought the Gyökeres one. Yeah,
come on.
Talking about
Let's
Gyökeres,
talk about Arsenal. I forgot we played yesterday. I want Jack to talk about him first, actually.
Yeah, come on. What are you saying about our Victor?
Come on, Jack.
I want to talk about the foul, to be honest, because obviously I'll talk about Gyökeres, but talking about what just happened there is that I don't know if you saw when Gyökeres scored the second. I think it was the second. He took a clattering right in his leg that sent him over.
Oh, yes,
and it was so high up, And then judging by what the logic we've just used for this Liverpool one, should that not have been pulled back, him sent off for trying to deny us goal scoring opportunity, and then we get a free kick? Or so I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Listen,
but
Jack, you're right. Thank you for bringing it up because I put it in the chat, right? Anybody, if you don't know what it is, go and watch it. Go and watch what the tackle is, right? And I'm not sticking up for Romero, right? It is 10 times worse tackle, dangerous than what Romero does. For a start, it's knee high. You know what I mean? Like the Romero one is on his foot, like slightly above the ankle, like, you know. And I want to know, someone else tell me, if the Romero ones are sending off, why weren't the one on Zuber Mendy sending off? Because that's a lot higher. The inconsistencies of refereeing is unreal. But if you've not seen it, just go back and have a look at it, what that tackle is, what he does. He's got no intention of getting the ball, right? The ball is in the back of the net. It is a disgusting tackle that's not been brought up, won't be highlighted tomorrow on Ref Watch, or whatever you want to call that watch. I call it something else beginning with a W. Anyway, that's another story, right? I bet it's not even brought up how horrendous that tackle is. Nothing said. And when I see it yesterday, I couldn't believe it.
No, it was bad. And there was the one on Van der Ven on Isaac as well earlier in the season. It was similar, where he got his shot away and then he just followed through and crunched him. And obviously, he's pretty much out for the season now. So it does seem to be a pattern.
Yokeris?
Yeah, man.
All right, man. I'm here.
You know what I mean?
Here.
You're really sidestepping this.
What you doing, Victor?
About things that happened earlier on in the season and that. We want to know about Yokeris.
Victor Yokeris. One thing I can say is that I said, I think maybe a couple episodes ago, he's got the cargos on now. The jeans are off. He's got the cargos on. He's still not quite, fully flexible, but the cargos are there. A bit more freedom now, and it's paying off. And I'm going to put it solely down to Kai Havertz, and the ability that Kai Havertz has brought out of Yokeris. I mean, just the way they link up, someone directly feeding him. I mean, it's made him look a bit better. But what I will say is, like, second goal, falling over, ball goes in, and he's still got cargos on, but he's finding in the net. So no matter how the goal goes in the net, I don't care.
Say that again. What's falling over? What?
He just keeps falling over. You know the way he plays. Like, even when he fell over when he scored, he just has that, like.
So it's falling over is not a goal.
No, it's a goal. It's a goal. I'm talking about just him as a footballer. But at the moment, he's putting the ball in the net, so I don't care. If he wants to chest the ball in 5 times, if he wants to fall over, roll the ball in, I don't care. But he's got to get goals when he's playing like that. And at the moment, he is. So, my bad.
Oh, my bad now, yeah? So when people are saying
we can talk about Eze if you want, but
hold on. So when people are saying to you, with some players, it takes a little time to settle in.
Hey, it's only been a couple of
not over. You know what I mean? You get some fans, they're judging players in November, they're judging players in December. You think you went a bit too early with Yokeris? I mean, what if his goals from now till the end of the season lead us to the title?
Then I'll turn around and say you had a horrible start to the season, then he turned it around and won us the league. And I have to say that again.
And would you say there's many players, not just Yokeris, who started off pretty shakily, but then have grown into being top players? Like some of the things that we've said over past shows.
No, I mean, I still stick by the criticism of the fact that I don't think he's a great footballer in terms of, with the ball. But my whole thing is, I don't need him to be, as long as he's putting the ball in the net. He doesn't have to be all fancy and do all the flicks and stuff, as long as he's putting the ball in the net. But he wasn't for a large period of the season. And even this run he's on now, obviously, I can only, applaud it. He's the most informed striker in the Premier League at the moment. I think the most goals in 2026 in all competitions. So, I can't argue with them stats. You can talk about the teams they're against, a couple goals against Kairat, etc. And we could talk about that. But at the end of the day, you've got to score against. You've got to score against. You got to score against. You got to score against.
He's in agony, isn't he, boys? Giving him a compliment.
Allow me, man. Not everyone else was onto him, and you want to pick on me? Like, I've heard Lee say something.
Because you've been the main guy onto him. That's why you've been the main guy onto him.
Hey, Aye, and thanks to my criticism, he took it in, and now he's a better player. So, if anything, we should be applauding me and thanking me for pointing out his flaws. You're welcome,
I'm
guys.
not applauding
No
you,
worries.
nothing.
Massive thing about your careers as well, guys. And I don't know if you noticed yesterday. I watched the game back as well. Do you notice how we pinned them in when he come on as well? Like they weren't getting at us. He's got a presence about him that stops centre halves coming out with the ball and making passes and things like that. And actually, was the most impressive thing about him yesterday was his work rate. He puts in a shift. He come on.
He is really good at that,
and he really run his socks off, breaking down, putting a bit of defending like, and I think at the end of the day, it's a difficult one because I'm looking at it and thinking, yeah, we're not maybe if Havertz plays up top or even Jesus plays up top, it's a little bit more. We're more a little bit fluent and neater with our passing and all there, like. But sometimes you just need a battering ram, boys, that's going to just upset the apple cart. And whoever it is up against him, you're having a physical battle. I'll tell you that now. And the other thing I like about him, it was a couple of times they bashed into him yesterday. That Dan Ballard had a little go, like, and nothing against him. He's a good, ex-Arsenal. Looking for a reaction, don't get one. He just looks up, dusts himself down and carries on again. So he's got a good attitude as well. Like, and that third goal, well, you know what I mean? Like, I have to say this, Martinelli didn't do a Kai Havertz, did he? He could have laid, but he see it was a better option to just give him the tap in, and he done it. Like, so fair play to Gabby as well, like, because that goal average, that's another +3 to our target, boys. You know what I mean? Like that could be a point at the end of the season as well. So, it's important that when we get 1 or 2-0 up, we go for the kill as well, get 3. That's another 2 goals over the weekend that we got over Man City as well, like, So, listen, that was a good performance yesterday, and 7 goals in 2 games, guys. Not only 6 points, 7 goals +7, like, So I don't know how much the goal average is now up there. If it's, I'm gonna have a look quickly, like,
I think we're 5 ahead of City on goal difference overall.
So it's 5 now, like. So that just shows you that's been a good.
It's a point, isn't it?
It's a point. That's been a good week for us, like, you know what I mean. So we've got to keep doing that. Get 5 or 6, and at the end of the day, I know that this sounds silly. I don't want to talk about Man City too much, but come the end of the season, they may have to win games 4 or 5-0 or 3-0, and they're 2-0 up, and they leave the back door open to who knows. You know what I mean? So they're 1-0 up, trying to get an extra goal, 1-1. I don't know if that will happen, but that's been a good week for us. Leeds, Chelsea in the semi-final, get to the final, and backed it up with a very, very good. I was very impressed with Sunderland, by the way. Very impressed with them. Physical, like probably going to fade a little bit, like missing Granit Xhaka. Disappointed he wasn't there yesterday. I see him. He was at the game, wasn't he? Like, and he was doing photographs with all Arsenal fans. But I would have liked to have seen him on the pitch. But listen, there's some interesting games coming up. With all those teams, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool now battling out for the it's starting to take shape, this league. And yes,
do you know what? Can I just say something there? 2 quick things. I know. Let Rob get in with Jokeres, by the way. Strikers Union, try and defend the guy, but 13 goals in all comps and 3 assists. I reckon he'll end up with 20+ goals in all comps. We wanted 20 in the league, but if we get 20 in all comps, 5 or 6 assists, that is a good season for a guy that came late in pre-season. We clearly didn't know how to use him at the start. He's obviously had to adapt to the league. Maybe he's not as good an all-round footballer as we thought he was, but you can see when you give him the ball quickly, he will make something happen. And to be honest, Havertz is the person at the moment that looks like he's unlocked him. Even yesterday, the moment the ball went into Havertz, he gave it him straight away. Do you know what I mean? You could see even the way he celebrated with him. It was like, yes, give me the ball. Martinelli gives him the ball, he's celebrating. You've got to build your attack around him. So the more chances he gets, the more he'll score. Just quickly on what you said there with Xhaka, without sounding a bit miserable, I'm not into the Granit Xhaka love fest. Like, I don't care whether he played or not. I saw everyone, him and Arteta hugging. Oh, Granit, Granite for me, mate. For 4 or 5 years, you absolutely wound me up like anything. We got a good 18 months out of him. And he left like he was a hero at the club. Like, I like what he did at the end. He was good in that last season. But yeah, I'm glad he wasn't playing yesterday, to be honest, because he's been very good for them. That Robbie up front was a bit of a problem, wasn't he?
Handful, wasn't he?
He's a proper beast, isn't he?
Strong, man.
Yeah, Saliba had a problem with him, but yeah, it was a big win. Zuber Mendy, by the way.
Yeah,
you know
please mention this guy, man. Mention this guy, Martin Zuber Mendy, because you know what?
Go on, you take
that is a player that has hit the ground running. That has been an excellent signing. You can see why City wanted him, why Liverpool wanted him, why Real Madrid wanted him. Yeah. This guy is absolute quality. You cannot. I mean, I made him my man of the match, right? Because for me, that first goal in a tight game like that was all important. And it was a great finish. And I love what he said. I don't know if you saw his interview. He said that he saw that they were getting a little bit of space on the... Because remember, Declan Rice had that shot in a similar position, which just missed, right? So he goes that him and Declan said, yo, a little bit of that space is coming up there because they're sending so many players back. And his strike was brilliant. And this guy, you know, has been excellent for us this season. He really has. He's played every minute. I mean, he's going to be going forward in the future, let's hope he stays injury-free. He's going to be such an important player for Arsenal. If he can do this in his first season, how much better is he going to get? Quality. And he's, for a defensive midfielder, he's scoring a lot of goals. I think that's his 5th goal in the league.
I actually think he's got more to his game than I don't even really look at him as a defensive midfielder. I think you look at that goal yesterday, it's like Vitinha gets into those positions for PSG.
Good shot.
You know what I mean? I actually think in certain games, him and Rice should swap positions. If we're struggling a bit physically, put Rice in the 6 for that strength and get Zuber Mendy for that creativity. But what I liked yesterday, boys, was we were shooting from outside the area, which is key against the low block. Zuber Mendy scores. Like you said, Rice, that was a yard wide. Eze had that left-footed shot, went just wide. Havertz had that curler just wide. Yeah. So different ways of scoring goals. So listen, I know we started the show in this cloud of our Man City, but I think we got to focus and say, listen, boys, we're still the best team in the league. Yep. We're 6 points clear, 5 goals better off. They'd swap positions with us right now if they could. So keep your eyes on the prize. It's still there for us to go and have a great
100%.
season.
Yeah, 100%. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy.
No,
it won't.
It's not
going to be easy.
Well, let's talk about the game coming up, Jack. Brentford Thursday night, like Lee said earlier on. You would expect City to beat Fulham, which puts a little bit of pressure on us. But even pressure aside, Brentford have been brilliant at home. They've got great home records. They had a fantastic win away at St James's Park at the weekend, beating Newcastle 3-2. They're pretty high. I think they're level on points with Liverpool in the table. Yeah. Brentford, everybody thought their manager would get sacked. Everybody thought that they could be, shout for relegation. Their manager shout for one of the managers of the season right now. They've been playing brilliantly. They've got dangerous players like Igor Thiago. It's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah, I think they're 7th or 8th in the table at the moment. And I'm thinking, I think I was one of the people that when I heard the story with Keith Andrews getting taken over, I thought, like, what is going on there? He was like a goalkeeper coach or something at the club, and I'm
set piece coach.
That's it. I was thinking, wow, like they've lost their captain, they've lost Mbuemo, lost Vissa. And I think if you asked the general Premier League fan, like, who are your favourites for relegation, they would have been mentioned quite a few times. And to see what they've done, you just got to applaud it really. And limited funds, they've got a good behind the scenes there. I know that for sure. But limited funds, they found Thiago out of nowhere. He's come in. I think he was injured for a while, and now looking at his second top goal scorer, I think he's got 15 or something. Just in the league this season, so it's going to be a tough game. I mean, I still go in thinking we're favourites. I still go in not too worried. Maybe looking at our upcoming games with Tottenham and co coming up, I look at this as maybe a more favoured one. I know we've got to run a good run a congested fixtures. I say we've got Wolves in midweek as well. So I don't know about rotation wise. I mean, in terms of the game itself, though, in terms of what I would change or coming from the game we just played, we haven't spoken about him much, but maybe Gyökeres has pulled it out, so I can leave him alone a bit now. But Noni Madueke, guys, he's starting to get in the bit of me, and we're winning, we're performing, we're scoring. So it's not he's a bad player or anything like that, but the amount of times he takes his fullback on and looks unbelievable, and then just crosses it straight into the keeper or into row Z is like. I don't get, like, fair enough, he's not going to get assists every time he goes down the wing, but at least get the ball in the box. Like, you must be training that, and it's just like sometimes it's so frustrating. You see the other players. I think there was a time when Jesus was in the box and he literally threw his arms up like Gyökeres has done a few times. At what the hell was that? Like, what are you doing? So I don't know. With Saka being out,
he did get a goal and an assist at Leeds though.
Leeds, that's what I mean. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but it's more the thing of the amount of times he beats his man. If you watch him, if anything, he's as good as Saka sometimes in terms of beating his fullback. But what he does after it is just, and where our options are right wing, obviously Wanyeri's gone. Saka apparently is out till Tottenham potentially. It's just that thing of like, I don't know, Trossard came off injured, so maybe Martinelli can't be used as cover on that right side as much anymore because we have to play him on the left. I don't know. It's just a bit of a worry spot for me. Maybe coming forward against some teams that might sit back a bit more.
I think it's a big time for Eze now. I think if Trossard's injured, I'm playing Eze on the left, Martinelli on the right.
Yeah,
Gyökeres down the centre. Like, I have to say yesterday, it was a great. I'm not having a garden on it. He was frustrating yesterday. Because he does go. You're all right, Jack. He's really exciting to watch, isn't he? He gets you off your seat with the first bit, and the second bit you're firmly back on your seat, isn't he?
That's a perfect analogy of Noni Madueke right there for you guys.
What a guy!
No, mate. It's true, like,
it's true.
I said to my mate Russ when he went round him the first, sit down, Russ, nothing's happening here, mate. Save your legs, mate. Save your legs.
He does need to work on that end product. As I said the other day, if he had better end product, he'd probably be at Real Madrid. Because he goes past players like they're not there. But the last part, he does need to sort that. But just going back on Brentford, despite the 2 great wins that they had, their last home game, they had this brilliant home form where they hadn't lost at home. But they lost at home 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. So we can go there and win this game. We know what's coming. We know how they're going to play. It's going to be counter-attacking football. We're going to have to be on it. And I agree with you, Lee. I would play if Trossard, I'm wondering, was it a hamstring? Or was it just fatigue? I don't know. But if Trossard is not available, I do think it's time to let Eze play on that side. If, mind you, having said that, Martinelli was scintillating when he seems off the bench, Martinelli. If you're tired, you don't want him coming on, do you?
No, he's electric off the bench, isn't he? Like that run at the end.
Yeah.
Noni, this will be, we got to put a real shift in, Brentford keep you very honest, that long throw, is it Coyote?
Yeah.
I see that Kevin Schade is suspended.
He's out.
Which is a plus, but they're dangerous, man. This is going to be a very hard game. Very hard game. And like you said, we'll have the pressure of knowing what's happened at City. But I expect us to win. It'd be interesting in terms of team selection, because I thought Calafiori was a little bit shaky yesterday. His weekly grab of the shirt that he does every game at the moment. You know what I mean? So I reckon Nkapie might come back in at left back just for that defensive solidarity in there. I think the midfield picks itself. I think Zuber Mendy, Rice, Havertz, I think the difference with Havertz, just quickly, when we first signed Havertz in midfield, we played him left 8 where Rice is playing. He was the Xhaka replacement. He was poor, let's be honest. There was too much defensive work. I think now with Zuber Mendy and Rice, Havertz playing more as a 10, like a second striker, which is where he played for Bayer Leverkusen. And he makes great little runs around Gyökeres as well. And I think Gyökeres definitely has to start. after what he did. And then, if I'm
sorry to interject into you there. Maybe Havertz for his height in that game as well. We know lots of long throws and physicality.
No. I think Havertz definitely got a start. And listen, we got Wigan at the weekend, so you've got to say to the lads, you could give that whole team pretty much the weekend off. Obviously, some of them are going to have to play because we ain't got the numbers, but I think there is a shout to go Eze and Martinelli out wide, because you can't lose the ball cheaply in this game, and you can't give away the ball easily, because a throw-in for Brentford is basically a corner. That guy can throw it nearly 40 yards, so it's going to be a physical game. But I do think we'll have too much for them. I'm very to be honest, anybody we're playing in the league at the moment, I feel like we're the favourites. It's just whether we go for it or not. But I do think since that Man United game, something's clicked in the brain of Arteta, and we're playing on the front foot a little bit more. So it'll be interesting what happens in that City game. And Fulham are not a write-off. Fulham are a dangerous team with that Harry Wilson and that. So it's not a given that City beat them, but we'll see what happens.
Let's get into the before we do our predictions. Let's just have a look at the table there. Jack on 29. Lee's closed it right down now to 28. So was it 1 point before?
Look at him. He can't stop grinning, can he?
Yeah, because Jack went 2-0. Yeah. It's down to a point. I'm on 22, Curtis on 21. But Lee's closing in there. So let's get the predictions for this game. Arsenal away at Brentford.
Oh, it's tight now. I've actually got to think about it now, because I wouldn't mind if it was Robbie or Curtis, but this guy, man, his little star in the corner. I'm going to go professional 1-0 away win. 1-0. I've left it open for you, mate. Go on, take it.
He's going to go for it as well.
I ain't going for it. 2 Brentford 0, Arsenal 2.
All right, I'm going to go 2-1.
Oh,
to Arsenal.
Come on, Lee. 2-0 to the Arsenal. Let's
go.
Go on,
Stick with me, son. Stick with me.
Stick
with me.
I'm going to put my trust
I'll
in
take
that
you off the bottom. Don't worry about
it. Please, let's get Robbie bottom of the league.
Drag you off the bottom, right? Okay.
Come on, 2-0.
All right. Comments.
I've got a good one, actually. And do you know what? The battery ran out on my phone, so I've had to find it on here, but I've got it. Some guy, Deck N5 said, have you seen the allocation for the Carabao Cup final? Only 31,000. Silver members are in sale window 3, which means Thomas Frank won't be able to get tickets to Wembley.
I see that one. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant.
Big
Love that one. Oh, all right. Here's one bigging everybody up. This one says, "Thank God they part." This is Eze4372 says, "Thank God they changed the cast on these. It was always so negative and whingy before, but Lee was still on it."
Listen, I've got this one, and I don't know that I say this, but apparently I do. So I've gone from Ryan Arsenal 5-3-4-2. It could be our own Ryan, because he's just one of the, Got to get Lee Judge's merch out T-shirt saying, "I don't care what anyone says." Do I actually say that? I don't,
you do. You say that a lot. You do. You do. You say that all the time.
I don't care.
You say that all the time. You say, "I don't care what anyone says." You say that all the time. You never noticed it.
No, I haven't. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I don't think I do.
Oh, he's on form.
Obviously, I do, because like Ryan, who it could be our own Ryan. I don't know. Like, the name
do say
Ryan
that a lot.
is always a bit dodgy.
You do actually say it a lot. You do.
Okay. All right. I'll try and stop it
now. I got one here that is actually a moment that I think when we stopped the pod recording that I kept thinking about. I thought it was hilarious. And this guy, O'Dane Cooper 4941, I said, Curtis is top quality drama, mate. I'm telling you. Grab the wallet and the passport, and I'm back when I'm back. And that was a great moment in the last episode. It's the delivery of it. It's your delivery.
The passport was almost out today, boys, when Szoboszlai scored.
I was gone back in the safe, isn't it? That is.
Locked it up now, mate. I have to say, just quickly, right? Like, if we have got to win the league this year, and like, otherwise, it's turning into like England winning the World Cup, where you go, I just don't think this is ever going to happen. Like, we've got to win the league this year somehow. However, just get over that line, please.
Yeah. I mean, surely we're going to win it, but City is still there. It's still there.
Listen,
it's still there.
I'll tell you one thing I'll say, Robbie. So a year ago, we went to the Super Bowl thing. Do you remember we went to that thing?
Yeah.
Right. This time this year, a year later, we're in a much better position than what we was last year. Let's be honest about it, you know. So you got to look at the positives, you know. I also think, right. Somebody said to me, we was talking about it yesterday in the bar at the game, you know, about bottle and all that. Like, you know, we went toe to toe with one of the best teams in Premier League history, right? With Eddie Nketiah out front, a backup of Reece Nelson, a backup of Rob Holding. We're now going to games against the Manchester City is not as good as that, and our backups are arguably Eze, Martinelli, Norgard, Ben White, etc. We're in such a much more healthier position now, like, you know, we really are, like, you know, and I do think that we are the best team. We've got to believe in it, like, you know.
Yep. Well, we got to believe in it, and you know, we got another week ahead of stressful games.
Yeah.
Of course, away at Brentford. It's going to be a massive game, very important game. We're all looking forward to it, and make sure you join us after that game. I'm sure there'll be a lot of talking points, but let's hope we just listen. As Lee said right at the start of it, it's all about us. It's all about us. We can look around and hope that other teams do us a favor, but at the end of the day, to win leagues, you have to do it yourself. You can't just rely on teams doing it for you. You get a little bit of help along the way, but at the end of the day, if you don't do the business yourself, you're not going to win the league. So let's hope we can get it done. Want to thank Curtis. Want to thank Jack, and also you, Lee, and everybody out there who's been watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check us out on the next Fourever Arsenal. But after this weekend, we're still top of the league on 6 points. Can't argue with that. Thanks for watching.